Hey, so how you guys doing? This is Neil from growpotcheaply.com. I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn a cardboard box and all the parts you'll need. It's very inexpensive to make a micro grow using my Perfect Sun Mini, which only uses 122 watts of electricity. I'll go ahead and show that right now before we get started on turning this cardboard box. And the cardboard box you'll need, I bought it at FedEx. It only cost 20 bucks, and it's the wardrobe box. So on one side of it actually says top wardrobe right there. And I'm going to show you guys, all you need is a little bit of panda plastic. You can go to your local grow shop and get panda plastic for like, I think it's for 10 feet by 10 feet or something like that. It might be all you need. It's really inexpensive. It's 10 bucks, something like that. So it's not that expensive. I'll show you the other stuff you need right now. All right. Alright, yeah, so anyway, the box is pretty much done now, so all I gotta do now is tape a few. Yeah, did I get you?
Did I get you? No makeup on? Scare you?
But seriously, it's almost. Alright, so this stuff we need, which is really inexpensive. This is like the cheapest way to do this grow here. And I recommend doing the cardboard box inside your house, preferably in a place where you're around and breathe a lot, because that's to make you have higher CO2 levels. You also want it to be in a place that has a pretty decent room temperature, like around 70 degrees or so. You don't want it to get too cold. Alright, so here we go. We got the corded duct fan, a 4-inch duct fan. This is from Home Depot. And this is really all you need. You don't need a whole lot of airflow going through the box. The light doesn't get that warm. Then you need a little bit of the 4-inch ducting. Bought this at Home Depot as well. It's for I think things like washers and dryers, stuff like that. On one side it's got this plastic deal that makes it easy to attach to the ducting fan, which is awesome. What we're going to do is we're going to have one piece of this we're going to cut, and we're going to use it and we're going to curve it. That's going to be at the bottom. So we're going to cut a hole in the bottom, attach this to it, duct tape it, curve it, and then duct tape it so it stays curved. That way light has a hard time getting inside, because the light has a hard time bouncing through a curved object. The same thing with the fan. So the fan is going to come out of the box and hang down. Again, the reason why it's going to come out and hang down is so light can't bounce up inside your box, so your light stays light-proof. I'm also going to show you a really inexpensive way to make a door with the cardboard box and just a little bit of duct tape and some panda plastic. Finally, you might want to use something like this. This is what I decided to go with. It's a little tote that I bought from Walmart for like $4 or $5. Comes with a lid. And this should fit right inside the box, the wardrobe box. The wardrobe box, I think, is like 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet by 2 feet. Really, that's about all the area you need, because this light covers 2.5 feet by like 1.5 feet. So if you can find a box exactly that size, that would be ideal. I'll be growing one autoflower in this box. It's going to be Auto Ultimate. And we're going to get a nice big yield off this light that only uses like 125 watts or so. And so with this is going to be our runoff, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill like a big hole here, maybe a couple little holes here, just a couple holes in here so it still stays stable. This is where my rock wool is going to go on top of, or my pot with rock wool. I think I'm going to grow in pure rock wool this time. I think I do that from time to time. I like doing it. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do coco and even try to do some living bacteria and stuff. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do rock wool though. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put that on top of here, and this gives us that's why I want kind of a taller cardboard box. And I'm actually going to use it a little bit incorrectly. It's made to be a lot shorter than it is, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to convert it to make it to where it's a taller box. The reason why I want the height there is I want to be able to grow a decently tall plant, and I want enough room for this right here. We could use a tray if you want to, just like a regular round tray, whatever, like the runoff trays, and put your pot in that. I just think this will be easier. I'm going to drill a hole, a bigger hole, cut a hole right here for my vacuum. That way all I have to do is water it, and then every couple days come in here and just suck the water out of here. It'll also make it harder for that water that's in this thing to add humidity to the room or to the grow box. And so I just go in and just suck it out, every couple days with my wet vac. And I just think that would be much easier for this grow. So that's how I'm going to do that. The next thing you'll need is a Perfect Sun Mini. So here's the Perfect Sun Mini. Now I want you to see something here real quick. You see that one there that looks like a little bit like it's almost not on, but looks kind of purplish? That's the UV. And that one there that almost looks like it's not on at all, you can kind of see like almost like a slight reddish tint. That is the infrared light. Infrared light is invisible to the naked eye, so that's why it's almost like you can't see it. And I get messages all the time asking me like, "Hey, is my light broken?" And it's like, no, it's not broken. That's just your infrared light. So anyway, the amount of watts it's using, you can see here, only 122 watts. Amps, only 1 amp. So with 122 watts, we're going to easily pull. I'm going to pull over 3 ounces. That's what I'm guessing right now. I'm going to use a bigger pot to make sure the autoflower has plenty enough time to grow. And this little baby right here inside a little miniature grow is going to grow a big, nice, tall plant that's going to have a nice yield on it. I'm going to train it with ponytail training and bull training. All right, so let's get ahead and get started on how to turn this box into our grow box. So we're going to need panda plastic. I guess you don't absolutely need it, but it will. You definitely want it at least on the bottom, just in case you accidentally spill some water. You always end up dripping a little bit of water here and there, so you want some type of plastic on the bottom, even if it's this clear plastic for painters at Walmart, the 7mm kind. You just want something that's waterproof on the bottom so you don't get your cardboard wet. But you don't have to line the insides of it to make it white. That's up to you whether or not you want to spend extra money. It's not really that necessary. I mean, cardboard is going to reflect light a little bit, not too much. You don't have to go all that way of buying Mylar and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, panda plastic reflects light so good. But yeah, you don't need all that. But you only need panda plastic around the walls, and if you don't want to use it, it'll just make it to where you'll have a little bit more reflectivity, and those buds on the edges will just get a little bit more light. Not too much. Honestly, the little bit amount of extra light they get is hardly anything. It's almost not worth the time, but your yields might increase by like 1% maybe, so if you're really worried about it, you can do that. But I'll probably just go, put it in there just so it looks cool. I don't know, we'll see. But let's go ahead and show how to turn this thing into a grow box now. All right, so first thing we need to do is we need to look at the box itself, right? We have 2 different sides to this box. The top and the bottom. And you have this top part here that's made to fold up and be a lot more shorter than what we're actually looking for. And so we're not going to fold that side up at all. What we're going to do here first is open the box up so you can see the size of the box here. They're very heavy-duty boxes, and obviously for a grow we need a heavy-duty box. I'm going to show you guys how to hang the light in it and everything. And some people think, what the hell, how can you do that with a cardboard box? Trust me, it will work. It's kind of a pain to open up by yourself, actually. Go ahead and turn it sideways. Open these flaps up and everything so it opens up easier. There we go. Alright, so now trying to open all the flaps up so the box opens up. There we go. Okay. Once you have the box opened up, you can see there's the side that is the long side that has this crease in it right here. This we're going to be duct taping up. And these are going to be folding over like this. And we'll also be duct taping them up so there's no light escaping here. And that's to make everything strong. Right? So that's going to be our ceiling. And the other part will be, actually the other part will be our ceiling. This part is going to be our floor. We just need to make sure we tape this up really good so it's nice and stable. So let's go ahead and do that first. Get our floor taped up to make it nice and stable. Make sure all everything's on camera for you. I recommend using Gorilla duct tape. They make black and white. The only other duct tape I'd recommend using is the T-Rex kind. Very strong, buy at Walmart. Forget the best prices on it. This stuff is super strong. Don't just use regular duct tape. Use strong duct tape. Gorilla is the best. Next up is the T-Rex. Don't use anything less than that. It has to be super strong duct tape like that. So all these little like holes, I'm going to cover those up with duct tape so you don't get no light leaks. Like so. Now this part here is important to make it really strong. So first you want to do lateral tapes. So we're going to tape it laterally first. Make sure all this is how it's supposed to be here. Line it up. And then put tape this way first. This gives you the strength that you're going to want right here. So just get a good piece like that, and then we can go vertically.
Up this way. Cover it on the corner, like so. So all together, all the parts to build this box. The light costs $220. That's for the Purpose Mini. The box costs $20. I can't remember how much that forged ducking fan cost. I think it was right around 25 to 30 bucks at Home Depot. And I think the ducking itself was pretty expensive, around 10 bucks, and that little tip was like 5 bucks. And the pen and plastic anywhere from $10 to $20, depending on how much you end up needing. So all together, you know, the grow is pretty expensive. If you think about it, the most expensive part being the light, but that light is going to be awesome, and like in real time, so you don't, you know, the skip steps or whatever, you don't see exactly how it's done. And so I can see that this right here doesn't want to, it wants like to lean out a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of go like that. Put the tape on the top part here, make sure it touches the side so that it stays flush like this. This is what I want. I want it to stay nice and flush like that. I might put one more piece of tape right there, just so it doesn't get all whacked out. Right here, like that. There you go. Oh, the tape, you know, we're going to use a little bit of tape here, so this tape is decently expensive, but we're not going to use the whole roll for it. We just need to stabilize some of this. Like so. Don't do this fast that way. Now some of this I can actually pause for it, because this is going to be kind of repetitive. So all these little flaps, we're going to grab the camera here. So all these little flaps like this right here, you want to tape all these so they stay shut. There's another one right here. Now the top here, which is actually going to be, the bottom isn't too big of a deal if you're not too worried about it. You can just kind of like tape it a little bit, because you're not going to get light leak through the bottom, which is going to be the floor. The other side, which is a little more stable, is going to be the top part. That part we're going to have to make sure it's nice and light proof. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape across here to kind of just hold it there. And unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see this part. But just a tape up this big right here. And all I'm going to do is just hold that down right there. I might do one more piece right here on the other side, just to make sure it kind of stays together. I'm not really worried about this bottom part right here because that's going to be the ground. But this piece right here that's on the side needs to be covered up. Like so. Alright, so next, after everything looks stable, just turn it around, make sure everything's good. Alright, so that's good. Now, we're going to turn it this way. And this is the part where we're going to close that. Now, this is going to be the ceiling. And so we want to make sure the ceiling has no light leaks. It's really good and tight with no light leaks. So we're going to kind of fold it up like this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run one piece of tape right here first, make sure this stays closed. But before that, I'm actually going to run a piece of tape along this one. Just going to do that real fast. I'm just going to take it and I'll run a piece of tape along this vertically, make sure it's all nice and even. That actually helps to close these a little bit, just so it kind of stays even. And I'm going to put this right across the center here. So just make it even for no light leak. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape here and here to make sure that stays closed. And then maybe another piece of tape along this way. Definitely on the edges. This is part you want to take the most. This is going to be the ceiling. You want it to be, well actually this top part doesn't have to be strong because it's not going to have a light on. We're actually going to drill or even cut a little hole right here and then put a dowel through the top of the box. Just a wooden dowel you can buy from Home Depot, make sure it's kind of a thicker one. And put a dowel through here, and that's what we're going to hang our light from. This has plenty of support, and you're going to put a little bit of duct tape underneath it, and that's going to have all the support it needs for the light. The light's pretty light, so it's not going to cause it to, you know, rip the cardboard down or anything like that. And because it has all the stability with basic physics, it's not that one little piece of rod's not going to fall and rip a hole down this unless it was super, super heavy, which it's not. So the main thing, what we're looking at the top here is light proofing. So that's why I put that first piece in the middle there. The rest here, I'm just going to do it so that it holds it down and looks somewhat nice here. And also allow it harder for the light to get in there for any light leaks. If you get any tears like I have over here, you can just cover that up with your duct tape as well. That was from the transportation of the box. Again, I'm really making sure I don't want any light leaks in here. So light leaks aren't as important with autos, but still I don't want any light leaks, just in case I decide to also grow a regular plant in here. Meaning a non-auto, a photo period. Right, so that's our top, our ceiling, and everything looks nice and light proof. The next thing you do is you're going to cut this open for a door. Now the easiest way to do this is actually cutting a line this way. I can actually draw where to cut.
Too high, I don't think. So you want room on each side. So I'm just going to, like that. Just make sure there's room on each side here. Like so. And then you're going to have a line coming straight down the middle. Like so. And you can go all the way down to how far you want your door to be. If you want it to go all the way down to the bottom of the floor, then you can have it go all the way down to the bottom of the floor. You want to cut a line across this right here like that. And then cut a line down the center. This part of the cardboard box doesn't act like hinges. You're going to put a piece of duct tape along the edge there after you open it a couple times, and you can see where the fold is. Have, you know, a hole right now in the center here with your zip tie, and that's the stuff. You can buy the green zip tie at like Wilco, whatever, the kind for plants and stuff. We're just gonna add a little hole right here, and that's where we're gonna take our. This I'm talking about right here. I don't know if you guys want to see what this right here is for. Training plants. It's basically just zip tie though. Alright, so we're just going to take a little piece of our zip tie here. This already comes with a little cutter on it. Cut the zip tie. We're going to push it through this hole. And I'm going to go ahead and tie it all the way on here. You can also make a backwards knot on the other side so it doesn't pull through, or tie something to the back side of it so it won't pull through. But this stuff is thin enough, I think, just going like this and then twisting it is going to work just fine. Yeah, you know, this might seem a little ghetto, but hey, you're saving yourself a lot of money, right? Without having to buy a tent and everything. Bam. Alright, so don't rely on the stickiness of the magnet tape, unless you buy some really heavy duty, strong magnet tape, which is a lot more expensive. This stickiness here, it's hardly any tack it out, so don't rely on that. It's not going to really work. So I just need a strip that's maybe, you know, that long. You don't need that long of a strip. Cuts really, really easy. I think this whole thing was like $5 at Walmart for a big old strip of it, big old roll of it, whatever. So you can start out by using the tackiness of it. Let's go ahead and make sure all this is connected on here how I want it to be. Then you can go, okay, where do I want it at? Kind of remember it's in a roll, so you kind of unbend it. So you can use it at first to kind of tape it, you know, stick it to the box, because it will stick. But it's not going to stay stuck to it really good, so it comes off really easy. You got to use some really good super glue or something like that to get it to stay there. Or what I do is I just take a little bit of my Gorilla Tape. I just want 2 little small pieces in it, because even through the Gorilla Tape, you just straight Gorilla Tape it. This stuff doesn't stick very good. It's really not that strong. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tape it on the edges here only. So tape on the edge like that, and the edge like that. Right, and that makes it nice and stable. Now we need one more piece for the other side. I'm going to pause before I do this part, doing the exact same thing. Right, now if anything, definitely keep that piece of stick there. Let's get a little bit closer here. If anything, definitely keep this piece of stick here just so you can have something to hold on to the doorknob to open and close this easier. Same thing with this here, can also act like a doorknob. So either way, it works as a doorknob. Now I got that piece of sticky stuff there, and then to keep this closed, I'll have another piece of tape or another piece of the magnet tape going across right here and tape it only on this side, and it'll like slap and stick to that and it'll help hold it closed and do it to both sides. But I want to have it on top of the Panda plastic, or I guess I can have the Panda plastic tape way over here and just fold over. But if I have it on the Panda plastic, it'll help tape and close the Panda plastic close as well. And so I'll show you what that looks like here really quickly. The Panda plastic will go down. Only thing I worry about is this right here being in the way. This kind of handle won't be in the way. I can just move out of the way like that. So maybe I'll change it for this kind of handle just because I can easily move it like that and the Panda plastic can flatten against it. Whereas this right here, the Panda plastic hits that piece of wood, it's not going to want to close all the way. It might allow a little bit of light to come through inside of there, and I don't want that. So let's go ahead and take that off for now. I can put another piece of this right here through it, through the hole. Like so. And twist it. Like that. Now we got 2 little handles that will flatten really easy. Alright, so let me go ahead and get my Panda plastic and cut a piece of this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright, so I got my piece of Panda plastic ready to go. I'm going to just duct tape it in place a little bit. Now, normally me, I wouldn't go through all this trouble of building this box grow. I would just buy a tent myself just because, I wouldn't say because I'm lazy, but just because it'd be easier for me just to buy a tent. Already has a zipper and everything built into it. And yeah, it's going to cost me more money, but the convenience of it already being all there is better. All right, so then we want to take this and have it just overlap a little bit like that. I'll cut the excess on the bottom after I have it taped on there. And so I want it to hang over quite a bit. So I want it to be right dead in the center like that. And I want it to hang over on this side more than this side, because this side is going to be taped. And so I want it to hang over this side as much as possible to make sure it really holds it there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of fold this top over just a little bit. And add a little piece of tape there so it stays in place. Remember, once duct tape, at least once Gorilla Tape touches Plastic, you're not really getting it off. So just keep that in mind. Line it up everything first, make sure it's all going to work the way you want it to. I'm just going to do a little piece of tape like that so it stays on that side. And then I'm going to go ahead and close the doors here and line this up so when I tape it, it's lined up well. And you'd be surprised how easy light leaks happen, so I recommend I just do like a piece at a time. But I do recommend to go through this process. Yeah, it's a little bit more tape, but it's definitely worth it to not have any light leaks. And then after you have it all done, get inside the box and make sure that you don't see no light coming through anywhere. That's the ultimate test. Stay in there for a little bit, make sure your eyes acclimate to the darkness. And then after your eyes have acclimated to the darkness, you can tell whether or not there's any light leaks. I should pause this right here. This part's boring. That's really easy to figure out how to do. So, just like that, all the way down. I'm going to actually leave the poly bottom part actually hanging down a little bit. Alright, so once you get that part done and it feels like it's going to stay closed, then you want to just get a piece of this, measure out to where it's big enough, and then make sure you didn't like drop your scissors somewhere. There they are. Take it and kind of unravel it like this first. Remember, it comes in a spool and it's rolled up, so you want to unwind it the opposite way to kind of get rid of that natural bend it has to it. You can use the sticky side if you want. I'm going to put on the outside here though instead. Make sure it sticks so the sticky side's facing out. Now it's sticking to that magnet that's there. Now all you have to do is take some of your Gorilla Tape here and just tape it to this side really good. Like so. Maybe you can open it so you can kind of get some pressure. Like that. And so now when you open it, this is kind of stuck to here, and you can open and close it, you know, take the whole thing and open it really easily. You get inside your grow room, water, do everything you got to do. And to close it, all you got to do is just kind of push this up a little bit, make sure that kind of fits right in the hinge there on the edge. And take this and close it as well, the same way, and just kind of kick the bottom a little bit, kind of goes into place. Then you take your magnet and just kind of push it along so that it sticks to there. Then you can have another magnet the exact same way, down here somewhere maybe in the middle here, and maybe one more at the bottom if you want to make sure that no light leaks are going to happen. Because right now I can kind of see inside here, but I don't know, this looks pretty good. Like, it doesn't look like any light leaks can get through there. But just in case, if you want to add a couple more of these strips, you can. And then get inside the box to see if there's any light leaks. When you put the dowel through this hole, make sure you duct tape all the way around it so no light leaks can get through that as well. The last little bit is we want a little piece of Plastic hanging down right here. This is something I actually do for my, like, when I grow inside the bedroom for the actual door, the door you go in and out of the bedroom in. It just assures if you're growing, when you're growing inside the bedroom, for example, and I'll cut this to size here in a second, but what you can do is just kind of hang it over the top here just a little bit and then duct tape it across this top seam. That way it just kind of hangs down like a flap. So when you open the doors, it'll still open like that, and then it'll fall back on its own. And so I want it to be right about that long, so I'm going to cut this real quick. And like that, so it looks like this when you're done. And keep in mind, if any of this is too boring, you can actually put on YouTube, there's that new little button you can click now to either watch in slow motion or watch sped up. So you can like speed up some parts of it. You know, then if you still want to see what I'm doing, but it doesn't need to be so slow, just speed it up, put it on the speed up process, and watch me in fast motion, and then go back to normal motion. As you can see though, this will flap right up really easy. So all I have to do is just pull this flap open right here, and the pan of plastic will start to open it. And you can just grab it inside the door, and you can actually open this up really easily, like so. If you want to, you can actually have a little tack or something to tack this up with, whatever. I don't think it's really that important. Now you get used to these, work these doors in a little bit, so all the way on both ways, open and close them both ways, and you can kind of pinch it, so you know it's going to stay open and close easier for you, like so. And then now it's open. I'll just leave that down. It's not a big deal for me because main thing I'm going to be concerned with is down there where I'm watering and stuff and vacuuming the water out. But there you have it. You have your grow box now. Like I said, if the pan of plastic is important inside for you, then definitely put pan of plastic inside. One thing that's definitely important for me is having a pan of plastic on the ground, because I know water drips and spills. It happens. There's nothing to do about it. And so what I like to do is take an extra piece of pan of plastic I have here and put it inside here to make sure it measures up. It's almost the same way how I get inside my closet grow. Just have it kind of lifting up on both sides just a little bit, like so, like that. And I'm going to cut the edge here really fast, and that's pretty much it right there for that part. I'm going to do this part real time again. If you need to, speed it up real fast and watch it in fast motion. But all I'm going to do is cut on here. Pan of plastic's really cool. Once you get a good groove going, you can just slide the scissors if they're sharp right across pan of plastic without having to actually cut it. Just like slide right through it, like so. Cut that little piece right there. Now, make sure that this stays in place before I even tape it inside. What I like to do is a cool little trick. I'm going to take my headlamp off here. I don't need it on no more. I needed it to go outside for a second. So take the Gorilla Tape. Cool little trick you can do to make double-sided tape. And this is like the strongest double-sided tape you can freaking get. Bam. You can see how sticky this shit is. Boom, like that. All I need is like one little piece. And I'm going to put this underneath, like that, and then smash this down. Now it's in place. That shit's not going nowhere. It's stuck right there. And so I just keep it in place before I tape the sides of this up at all. Now what I like to do is I like to take this corner, the same way when I built my room. I take the corner, I lift this all up. You're not going to be able to see this, but you need to like fold it to where it kind of has a crease in it like that. And it kind of folds a natural crease. So first take it the corner like this, and then fold a crease like that. So I don't know if you see that right there. Let me try to get the camera down here so you can see this. It's kind of important, really easy to do. So after you have put the edge like that, just kind of fold a crease inside like this, right? So that way when you tape this here first, you can then lift this part up, back up like that, and it's going to fold over like that, see? And that way you have a nice perfect corner. And that's going to fold inside of there. I don't know if you can see that. Fold up inside of there like that. And then add another piece of tape, and now you're good to go. Alright, so I'm going to tape that real quick. Alright, so there you go. Now it's done. And that's just to keep it waterproof on the bottom there. And it's just, so, because you're going to make little spills. You're going to drip. Every time you water, little drips will happen. It happens. So make sure to put some type of plastic. If you have to, just use the 7mm plastic for painters at Walmart. You can buy a roll of it pretty cheap. Anything that's waterproof like that you can lay down like this, that's plastic, will work. Now, for the inside, if you want to be reflective, pan of plastic is really inexpensive, and all you have to do is just roll it inside. Just take a piece and just put it inside here and roll it around, and then tack it and tape it, whatever. Or you can do individual pieces and make them overlap each other. So one for each wall. You don't need it on the ceiling, obviously. You don't even need it all the way up, actually. So just take a piece and kind of just start from right there, somewhere right around here, and then hang it, you know, tape it and let it just hang down, and tape another piece that hang down, tape another piece that hang down. Just 3 pieces. You know, you can measure this out with a measuring tape, the length of each one, and then cut panda plastic. That's you know, about however tall you want it right here, and then just tape it across the top and let it just hang down, and that's fine. That's gonna give you a good covering. And if you want to kind of like tape it, double-side tape I just made, and put it on the back, and that way it sticks to the wall good. And then the piece at the bottom, so it just kind of sticks to the wall nice, and you use less tape that way. Another thing you can do if you, no, what do you mean if you can't? Okay, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to get panda plastic. Okay, and the reason why you want panda plastic on the outside is this doesn't allow UV in, the black doesn't allow UV in, and the white reflects light away from the box. Just so you know, that's what the whole black and white thing is for in this stuff. White, if it was just pure white, it would still allow UVs to get in. So that can, you know, for things like if you're covering your pots, whatever, if your pots aren't any black, then it'll allow UV in. So it just allows for the UV light not to get in, not to disturb plants, things like that. And anyway, you can buy panda plastic online. So there's really no excuse, unless for some reason you live someplace where they just don't ship it. I don't know, for whatever reason, you live in some weird country and they won't ship, or it's just too expensive to ship or something like that. And you can't find anything like this locally that's white. Flat paint, not glossy white, flat paint. Either the kind you paint on with a roller or like house paint, just get a little bit of it, like a little tiny little thing of it, or just get a can of flat spray paint at Walmart for like $2 or whatever place you can get spray paint at, and spray paint the inside of this. You don't have to spray paint all the way to the top. Just spray paint the walls, you know, up to about part way up here. That's about high as you need to go, not all the way to the very top. And spray paint that all white. I did a study with my par meter, my lux meter, all that kind of stuff to see what has the best reflectivity. The 3 things had the best reflectivity was flat white paint. It actually reflects light better than glossy white paint. Panda plastic reflects light pretty good. Flat white paint actually reflects a little better. And then finally Mylar reflects pretty good, or that aluminum stuff. Mylar doesn't reflect all that great actually. The stuff inside tents, it reflects okay. What reflects better is that kind of weird aluminum kind of dented stuff that are inside of hoods for lights. That stuff reflects light pretty good. But yeah, flat white paint reflects so good. So if you don't mind waiting several days for it to dry out and for the smell to go away, and leave it outside for the smell goes away, then go ahead and paint it. But panda plastic works really good, and it's you know, waterproof, so if you spray your plant down. But then again, it's such a small thing, just pull the plant out and spray it, right? Now, the only downside of this here, oh, I don't know why I made this hole so low. I went against what I said. The hole's supposed to be way up here, so I got to tape that now and make the hole up here. I don't know why I did that anyway for my dowel, because I want my dowel to be as close to the ceiling as possible. That way when my light hangs, my light will be hanging right about here, so maybe a little bit lower. And that's going to give me plenty of room to grow a decent sized plant in. And as the plant grows up toward the light, if any of the buds in the center get too close, like my light will be hanging up in here, right? And it's going to be like right here or something like that. If my middle buds start getting too big, I'll just pull them off to the side like that around the light. So here's the light here. All my buds are going to be trained to go up and around it using, you know, little bamboo sticks wherever I have to use. And so yeah, that's that. I did think about growing in one of the big Rockwell cubes. Like, I mean, it's a really big Rockwell cube, just because I've never grown in one before. But I don't know, I have grown with the little croutons inside of a grow pot. I think I might do that instead. That way I have the stability of a grow pot in case I want to tape wooden dowels to it and stuff to train the plant, and just make it easier on me to do it that way than to try to have it stand on the ground. Then I have to use more wood to make it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now the only part we have left to do, we already taped these from the outside. No reason to tape those. Let's go ahead and really quickly, let's get inside of here. Close it up on ourselves a little bit here and get all claustrophobic and shit. We're not really claustrophobic, but oh, come on. There we go. I just don't like being in places where I feel trapped, and I know I'm not trapped in here because I can get out whenever I want. And so this is how you test the lighting conditions of it. So I can see there's a couple places up there in the corner, like that little light right there. There's a couple places in the ceiling I gotta fix. That hole, obviously. That little pinhole. So the corners have a couple little holes that need to be fixed, and so all 4 corners and the top of the roof just a little bit, and that's it. Other than that, it's good. Right, so all I have to do is put a little duct tape right here in each corner. I need to put a little more duct tape across the top of here, so I'll put like 2 strips across the top there, so that stays nice and tight, airtight, and then obviously I got to tape that. And then so the only thing I have to do now is make sure I have my airflow. So the airflow is right here. So all I got to do is I'm going to have, since heat rises, right, we want to have the fan at the top blowing air outward. So we're going to make sure the fan is facing to where it's pulling air out and sucking it and blowing it outside the tent. So it's going to be pulling the hot air up, and it's going to be blowing it out and then down. We're going to have the thing, we're going to drill a hole right here. We got to make sure that we're not going to be in the way of our light, and so we want it on the very corner as far as possible, or even in the front as far as possible. I'm going to put it in the back though. So my light is going to be hanging, so it's going to be going this way. So my light's going to be hanging this way, vertically this way. And I just make sure, let me make sure that's correct. I'm pretty sure that's correct. Remember, I want it to go the long way. So just got to figure out which way the long way is again. Okay, I'm gonna put a marking now with arrows so I don't forget. This will just show me this is the long way. So what I'm gonna do here is just draw a symbol like this. And what that symbol shows me is that this is the long way and the other way is the short way. And so I want my light hanging the long way. So actually my dial is not going to be on this side at all. So I need to tape that. My dial is going to be on this side. And it's going to be, as a matter of fact, it's going to be just like this, but bigger. And it's going to be on this side right here, like that. Boom. That's where my dial is going to be to hang my light on, right? And so since my light's going to be going this way with the dowel, the long way, I want my thing either here or back here, right? It wants to go that way. It's the most area. If I try to put it here, it's getting more in the way of the light. But if I actually, maybe even here would be fine too on the back side. It doesn't matter where. It's just actually, let me think about this. If it's the long way here, it's gonna come over here this way the most, so it gives less room. But anywhere in the back corner here is gonna be fine. Either this back corner or this back corner will be fine. I think I'm gonna do the very, very back corner, and then just kind of cut a hole. And so first what I'm gonna do is measure the size of the hole. So this little piece of plastic right here is perfect. You just take this piece of plastic, hold it up to the cardboard, take your marker, and draw around it. That's all you got to do. It's simple. And that gives you a hole to cut. Then you take your knife and cut it out. And I'll just in case that part's not easy to understand, this is a long ass video, but it is to step by step showing you how to build everything. I might even speed some of this up when I make the final version of the video. I'll take the rest of that up in a second, so I have no light leaks. Right, so I want it's like right here. Actually, I'll probably put it on this side, right here. It's more stronger, it looks like. Just make sure you guys can see this here. So I'm gonna put it right here in the corner. So bam, just hold this right here where you want it. Gives a little bit of room around. You want it as high as possible too, so it's not going to get in the way of the plants. So the plant can grow as tall and big as possible. Bam, like that. Once you have that done, I recommend making another one on the bottom. So the reason why we want a hole in the bottom somewhere, and I think the best place to also be in the back here, is so that we have another piece of tubing, so it's basically it's going to passively pull air in through. Now if you want more airflow, you can put 2 fans. One fan will be facing the opposite way, sucking air in, and the other fan will be up here, pulling air out. And so it's kind of sucking in, pulling out. And this is going to pull air up through your plant as it goes up through the box and then out the top of the hole. So remember that hot air rises, so we want to pull all the hot air out. Cold air settles to the bottom of the ground, or colder air, so it's going to pull the colder air into the bottom of the box, raise that colder air up, and pull the hot air out, keeping the box the same temperature as the room around it. If one fan, for whatever reason, doesn't pull enough air through the box to allow it to vent out, which I think it should, this light produces like no heat, like at all, really, honestly. And so if I need another fan, I'll put another fan in the ducting. The ducting will already be there. All I got to do is attach the fan to it. So let's take the same piece now, make one more hole down here, and I'll make on the same side. So we'll put it right here. So, bam. Then all I gotta do is take your knife, and how I do this usually when I have to cut holes, I find this to be a really easy trick here. Is you take your knife and just put it right in the center somewhere, and then start working away, making like a little circle, like so, like that. And if you want to kind of cut out a little pieces, a wedge, and this right here will give you something to work with. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be duct taping all this anyway. That gives you a little bit of place to take it out and start working. Now people say, never cut towards yourself. That is generally a good idea. That's why I move my arm out of the way, just in case. You never know. I mean, the knife's always there, but just in case that we're going to set it up for some reason, I move my arm out of the way. And bam, it's just that simple. And then you'll have, make sure it's going to fit in there, the tubing. So I might have to go a little bit bigger. See, so not quite big enough. So I want to make it just a little bit bigger than what it is, which is why I drew it around the outside of the object, but obviously it wasn't quite big enough, so I'm kind of cut it more away. Don't really want to back all this up when I'm done. Yeah, so now we have it fits nice and snug. Do that for the bottom hole as well, and then you're good to go. And then after you put this in here, just put duct tape around it. I'll show you how to hook the fan up now. Let's go ahead and bring our attention to the ground real quick. So we've got our fan here. These fans don't use too much electricity, which is the only reason I decided to go with this one. It's also the cheaper one to go with. And so you can see like that, it'll fit like that on one end, and then the stuff can fit on the other end, and it screws on. But if you have it like this, I'll show you right now, like that, and then this side, you can actually take this side and put it in here. Just gotta make sure, plug the fan in and see which way the air is flowing. And so actually, you can see this is actually a lot smaller than the plastic piece. So now, when I put this in there, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna probably keep all this on the outside. I'll probably drill another hole in here somewhere so I can pull other cables through. So I gotta think about what side I want the box. I'm gonna use an extension cord anyway, but everything uses such a little electricity. Oh, you're not gonna see what I'm doing. Sorry about that. So anyway, just that's a little too big now. This part right here is a lot bigger. See? As it fits on there like that. But you got, I'm pretty sure it below, it says right here it's way it blows air. So I wanted to pull air out, which is this way. And so this is going inside here like that. Now, I'm going to have to tape this really good because it's kind of loose now. So I'll probably put some tape around the inside here first, so it kind of has more snug fit. And then I'll put some tape around the outside here, and make sure it's nice and light proof and stays there pretty good. And then the ducting will screw in right here, and I'll hang down. Now I'll show how that works real quick. Just assuming that people have no knowledge at all of this kind of stuff and aren't able to figure it out, just in case. So it has like little grooves in there, kind of like an AC, and should allow you to take your metal shit here, ducting, and fit it in here, and it should allow it to twist on. Actually, it has a little arrow, so it tells you what way to twist it. This might not have been the exact right ducting for it. I think it was, should fit right to these little grooves. Yeah, so there we go. Now I want to pull this. I want to use as much of this as possible. So I'm going to extend all this out and sink it, make it as long as possible. That way I can cut it in half. And this is where you need a good old trusty knife again. And literally just cut it right in half somewhere along one of these little grooves. It is metal, so you really care about, maybe don't use it. Like that. You might have to duct tape the ends so they're not like sharp. Be careful not to dent it too much. This stuff is metal and does dent pretty easily. Like so. And then you want to bend it like this. So one of these sides are going to go in the bottom like that. Go through that hole, and we'll tape it really good. You only want it to go inside like maybe like an inch. You want as much room inside your tin as possible. So just have it go in there just a little bit, and having this kink in the fabric, you can make even more of the kink. Turn as much as possible. The air's still going to flow through it just fine, but light isn't going to be able to bounce through all that. Make sure you can see all that. See that shape? So light isn't going to be able to bounce through all that so easy, and so it's going to make it really hard and make it really airproof. Right now we have this piece here, and this just fits onto here. You just add a little piece of duct tape. You don't have to, but I recommend it. And for this piece, let's also bend it down, and maybe even bend it like almost like an S like that. It also takes up less space, being all bent up. Oops, being all bent up like that. I want the air again to flow this way. With the arrow, there's an arrow on it right there. It says which way the air flows. And that's going to go in here now. I just got to tape that in there really good. Make sure you can see this. Hopefully you can see that right now, like that. Boom. Now you can have this go as far as you want. You're going to come out of angle if you want to. And just have it twisted up so that light has a hard time bouncing around inside of there. If you don't want this to, stick out too far, you can try to flatten that more against the box. But that's probably as close as you're going to get it to the box. Now another thing you have to do is drill a hole somewhere in the box for all your cords. I'm recommending at the top because all your cords are going to be coming out of the top for your light. And the only other thing that electricity you're going to have in here probably is maybe a little fan inside of there, like a tiny little fan, just as small as fan as you can, and just like mount it up, put a little mounting hook thing, tape it, grill tape it to the edge somewhere. Or actually get that really good sticky hooks, you know what I'm talking about? For hanging up wall pictures and stuff like that. They have the really, really sticky shit. Stick one of those little sticky hooks in here and hook it, hang the fan up with some of that same exact wire right there that we just used for the door, the green stuff, whatever that shit's called again, for that thing of it, the twisty type stuff. Or string, whatever you want to use, and then just have a little fan in the corner somewhere, probably opposite corner, and just kind of have it blowing at an angle so it kind of makes a spiral of wind. Don't have it blow right on your plant. Have it blow toward like one of the corners of the boxes and not directly through your plant. So if anything, if it's inside here, have it blowing straight this way so it kind of hits the corner and kind of makes a spiral effect. Just have a slight angle to it so it kind of goes around like that and pull air. Honestly, this should pull enough air up through the box to allow enough airflow to be inside the box. If not, maybe it's a little fan in there. That's one of those little 4-inch little fans. I actually have them right now, so I can actually use that. But that's pretty much it, folks. That's the whole build. I mean, the rest of it I don't have to do in real time. It's not that hard to figure out how to tape it up there. Just make sure to tape up really good. This is kind of heavy. What I recommend doing too is after you have this taped in, take a little piece of this cord and tape it up to here. So that way, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done here in just a second. So I'll just pause and I'll get this done. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. And then all you gotta do is, like it says, take Cannabis plastic. I don't have enough extra of this stuff right now, so I'll have to go get my new one I got, open it off and cut a piece off so that I have enough Cannabis plastic to tape and hang on the inside of it. So, alright. Things hooked up now. It's got 2 fans and the Mini, Percent Mini, only using 154 watts. So this whole box is only using 154 watts. So it has this little fan down here. It's an old, I think it's called Iceberg, something like that fan. I don't know if they sell them anymore. I bought it at, I think it was Fred Meyer's a long time ago. I don't know if it says the brand on it back here. I don't know if you guys can read all that and pause it or whatever, but anyway. Just a little fan. Well, I didn't put a bigger fan in here. I went ahead and taped the cord right here. This is the hole I'm going to use for the cords. And once I have the light, there's the dowel. So you can see it's a thicker dowel right here. So that's I'm going to hang the light on. You can see it can hold a lot of weight actually. It can hold a lot of weight. So this thing, yeah, you can I can almost hang on it myself. It's pretty good. That's the 4-inch fan pulling the air out. So this one is sucking air through the bottom. And have it kind of facing, slightly facing up a little bit, like so, at a slight angle. So this way it kind of blows air up and around, so the fan can get air, and it's blowing out there. I might have to put one more fan in here, and maybe another one, like either that or just a bigger fan right there to blow it all around. It can't be much bigger though, because I don't have much room in here. I'm not even sure if my tote's gonna fit in here now. Might have to use something else. Let's find out. I didn't measure. Oh, wait, maybe. Looks like it might just barely fit. And the fan has to kind of blow up like that. I might have to blow it that way, maybe a little bit. Yeah, like that right there should be good. I can feel the air blowing. Oh, this thing doesn't feel like it blows air that much anymore. You guys can see. Anyway, so everything in here now works. Might have to put this back here like that and then just kind of capture that air right there. I might have to buy another little fan like this, something that's small like this, but like blows air really fast and good. And have it just like blow air straight up, so, or actually not straight but I kind of can, at an angle so it kind of bounces and swirls around. But it's staying pretty good in here. I'm going to hang the light up now and see what the temperature is like right in here. I'll show you that in just a second. Almost done. I just got to tape this cord back to the back here, the back wall, and then I got to tape this up again so the cords are no light. That little fan right there is blowing air up, that one's blowing air out.
That little light in there is warm.
I got the dowel. I got this thing right here.
It's like touching your back.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're like right up against
That's where it was.
But I can go like this and it doesn't ever burn. This is the sensitive part of your skin. You can be touching like that and it never burns.
Yeah, it's just warm.
But
it's on my back.
But this isn't a test. You can't test like you do with HPS lights. You can't go, oh, I don't feel no heat right here. It'll burn your plants right here.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be like 13 inches away from this light. That's as close you want to get it in the center.
That was fun.
And so unfortunately, I'm going to have to take this right here, these little twist ties. It's like galvanized wire with like coated plastic. I'm going to have to bypass this all together once the plant starts getting taller. I'm going to have to come right here and pull this all the way up here so I can get the light all the way up to right about here. So it's only like 3 inches there. And then that way it only takes 6 inches. So I got to get basically to the light is like that right there. We need breathing room up there. So right about there like that. And even then, I might be forced to grow in a 3-gallon pot because, I guess I can still do a 5-gallon pot. I just have to really be careful to train the plant. Ponytail it when it's young, keep it nice and bushy. I'm going to use one of these round type of cage things I got. It's got a round thing on the bottom, round thing on the top. I'm going to train the branches to go outside of that, all the outer branches, and tie it to that so the outer branches are out here. And the middle branches, as it starts growing up, I'm going to take it and I'll bend it over like this so it kind of comes out to the side over here like that, so it's never touching the center. So if it gets too tall, once it starts getting too tall within that 13-inch range, I'll pull out to the side like that, so it's still going to get plenty of light and still grow good, but not actually burn from the light. So yeah. So now the test is just to kind of close this thing up. I'm going to tape that. I got to tape this right here so no light gets in there. Tape that right there, tape the things up, and then I got to tape the inside of the doors with some Panaplastic. Tape some Panaplastic on the walls, let it just drape down, just to keep the walls kind of white, so there's a little bit of reflectivity. Not really worried about it too much though. And then I got to tape some Panaplastic right here at the bottom of the door, so it hangs down to the floor. That way, it's kind of like the flap right here, so it's kind of like this right here. So like so when that closes, like that. So I gotta tape one more piece right here, so it covers the ground. And I got to tape another piece on this one so it covers the ground when it's closed. That way no light will escape in through the bottom. Yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. I mean, this piece obviously has to come up and out like this. And like that. So, let me go ahead and close it real quick. All right, one more thing I want to show is I put 2 handles on each side with the zip ties. I don't know why I didn't think about this in the beginning. Then you just grab the 2 zip ties really quickly and pull them. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but you just kind of pull them together and twist it, quick twist, and that keeps the doors closed. And you just kind of push the bottom of the doors in a little bit, and then put the Panaplastic over the top here like that. Take the piece of magnet tape that sticks magnet to magnet like that. Keeps that part closed. Has to be like pretty much, this right here has to match up almost exactly, otherwise it doesn't want to work. Anyway, so closing it, not totally intuitive yet. I mean, it's easy to get closed, but to get light proof closed is a little bit more of a challenge. Like that right there, and then that right there sticks now. Tape to tape. I could buy stronger stuff of this. I also have some little neodymium magnets I might go ahead and add on the inside here, like tape a neodymium magnet here and tape it to the box. That way this will just like flap and stick, and then this right here will flap and stick as well. Boom, like that, and then maybe another neodymium magnet here, and a flat stick, another one here, flat stick, another one like right here, and a flat stick. So it just kind of sticks shut, and then I kind of pull it open, and tink, tink, tink. I'll actually show you what that looks like real quick. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so then I just got a couple more pieces of pan plastic, and we're good to go. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious how hot it's going to get. It's still only using 100, it's upside down, but hopefully you guys see 152. So yeah, it actually, the longer it stays on, the more it goes down in temperature. So I want to finish taping off that little hole right there and everything, and then I just want to leave it like this for a little bit, all airtight, and see how long it takes, how warm it gets in there basically. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use some. Yeah, see how it doesn't want to stay like totally shut at the bottom there. So I'm gonna have to use some neodymium magnets. Show you what that looks like. All right, so they're really small, but they're really, really powerful. And you can see right there, just to get these off, I can't get them off with one hand. Like just to get one off is too hard. Let's see if I can get it off one hand. Nope, can't do it. They're so powerful, I don't want to get them too close to the phone. So just stick it to the thing like that. Another one here like this. And I'm going to take it right here and just stick it on the inside of the pan plastic here. Like so. And I know where that will naturally lie like that. So when the door is closed, I go, hey, well, this is how the door closes. That's how it naturally falls right there. And then I just got to take this and match it up with that. So first I'm going to take it and let it stick to it. So both magnets are stuck together. Oh, and I have it backwards, so I got to take that magnet and turn it around. Alright, after it's turned around, you want to take it and there, bam, you'll hear them snap together. Once they snap together, just kind of naturally pull it and then stick that other piece of tape like that. So now when I pull it off, it'll just naturally want to fall and stick to it like that. Actually, it's not sticking for some reason. These are super strong, so it should easily stick through tape. Yeah, so you hear that? It's sticking really good. Okay, it has to be like perfectly on there how I stick it. There we go. It has to match up just right. So now it sticks like that. You can just pull it, and then it'll stick. See that? You hear it sticking all by itself? Bam, look at that. Just let go and it'll naturally pull itself. Look at that. That's so cool. Watch this. See that? How it's naturally just pulling itself. Watch, I'm letting go. A little too far away. Just give it a tiny little bit and it's pull itself. See that? It pulls itself the rest of the way, almost like a ghost or something. Anyway. So yeah. Maybe I'll put one more up here on the top there. And then maybe one more magnet like here. And maybe one more down here, something like that. So it just kind of stays closed, hopefully, and stays more airtight. I'll put one more there, and I'll put like one more down there like that. I'm going to do that real fast and I'll show what it looks like. Right, now pretty much done. I mean, I got that taped off, probably tape off a little bit more. Now I got the magnets done. I might put one more magnet right here so this stays up when I want it to, but I can just go like that and it pretty much stays up. So each of these are magnets, and so start from the bottom. I have one magnet right here, so it just pops off really easy. These are strong, but they're not like super strong. I'm not using really big ones, but they're strong enough to hold the plastic together once it's in place, like that. Boom. Then I can open up and get in there. And I can easily just put these right back in place. Just follow down like that. Where each magnet goes, you can feel where they go. Bam, and then bam, they stick like that. And that holds it from light getting down. Then I put the bottom flaps on there, so it can all open and close real easy. You just got to open this flap up like that in order to open the doors, and that keeps it. Bam, it's good to go. And so I'm gonna leave it like that for, good 20 minutes or so, and we'll see what the temperature's like inside there with just those two little fans going.